What's up, y'all? This is Skater D.
Hey, I'm John Charles Meyer, producer of Dave Made a Maze.
Hey, what's up? This is Scott Ladotti, author of Play the Devil, and you are listening to Luch Dog.
Luch Dog.
Luch Dog.
This is Ann Cruz from SiriusXM 415, and you're listening to Luch Dog in the morning.
The #1 sports show on the planet. Yeah, boy.
Welcome back, folks. Oh, we got a big one today. Whole lot of stuff going on, but Matty Potts is absent. Giddy up, Ellie. So welcome to the show, my wonderful friends. Belly, you ready to rock today?
I'm already rocking.
Oh, man, we are feeling good in Studio A. Matty Potts, good luck to you today at Marinate, brother. I know he is killing it. He had lines out the door for Taco Tuesday last night. He has a lot of prep work to do.
I mean, every week he's coming in telling us he's set some taco record.
God bless you, kid. Good on him. We'll see him on Friday. We've got a lot to do. Louis C.K. responds to the accusations in the news. We've got the weirdest guy ever from Arby's.
It's me.
It's not you, believe me. You're not even close. Then we've got, okay, I got a question about the NFL that even Belly won't know the answer to.
Lies and slander.
And Britt McHenry smashes Kaepernick for becoming the GQ Citizen of the Year.
Yeah.
Which we could get into a little bit, whether you agree or disagree. But, man, I got some fun stuff to do. I would like to start off with what we're going to do later today. Let's start there. Because the name of the show, Belly, is Feeling Lucky on a Wednesday. Because we're going to see some hands.
Yes, we are.
Goddamn right! So excited. We're going to Charlestown, West Virginia after
Flip
this
those
taping.
aces, baby.
Yeah, right after this taping, we're going to go see some hands. I'm going to play some blackjack. You play roulette? What's the matter with you?
I like chance.
You like just no control?
Nope.
How do you win at roulette? Is there any strategy?
Apparently not. Because I've lost the last few times.
Oh, you lose.
No, there's I have a little strategy. I like to cover my bets and, bet on lines and bet outside the table just as much as I like to bet the inside. So, yeah, there's a couple little bits of strategy I have to it.
I mean, we're talking about the wheel. You guys all know it. Even if you don't gamble, you just black or red, basically.
I feel like I'm on the Price is Right.
Well, I'm all for the Johnny Drama, if you will, the Vincent Chase. When you go to a trip like this, just put $5 on black or red, and it will tell you how the trip will go. That's how they used to do it on Entourage. I think that's a cool way.
Usually how I start.
Or on the way out, you got $20 left, just put it on black or red.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cool with that. But I just don't see a reason. If you're actually trying to win money, you should be doing nothing but playing blackjack.
Yeah, there's a good game to take advantage
Belly,
of.
I win every time.
Because you only play against the dealer.
Right, and I'm winning every time. Not even going to jinx myself.
You're not
today.
even hitting on 15.
I hit on 16.
You hit on 16?
I hit on 16 every
Why?
time. You got to be consistent. That's the rule. Whatever you do, you got to do it every time for the numbers to work out in your favor.
You hit on 16.
I hit on 16.
It's
50-50 on the numbers on what you should do, basically.
I guess it depends on what the dealer has, because if the dealer's showing a king.
If I'm hurting, yeah. If he's got 7 or up, then I've got to hit on 16 for sure.
Yeah.
And if you don't hit on 16, that's fine. Just never hit on 16. They tell you to always do the same
But
thing.
if dealer's showing 4, are you hitting on 16?
Absolutely not. If dealer's showing 4, I'm doubling down, no matter what I have.
Yeah.
No matter what I have. My whole thing is get all the money on the table when they show 3, 4, or 5, or 6.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6. Yeah. I love gambling. It's great, especially when it's legal.
Yes.
So great. MGM here in, it's technically Maryland. They just opened up MGM casinos.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been there yet?
Nope.
No alcohol.
What?
No free alcohol.
No free alcohol.
It's ridiculous.
See? Someone was trying to talk me into going to the MGM the other day, and I'm like,
no thanks.
Yeah, but I like going to Charlestown. I'm over 30 now, so I like going to Charlestown.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get laid. I'm just actually trying to, play cards. I got a cold sore last time I went to Charlestown. Just straight up.
Just
straight up. Well, I get cold sores as from my life. Since the day I was born, once a year I'll get a cold sore.
Mm-hmm.
It's the worst, man. You guys know me. I'm like a mess. I'm all, you can't embarrass me.
Adam's
really.
like,
But you put a cold sore on my face, it's like kryptonite, dude. I grew my hair long in elementary school so I could hide behind my hair.
Yeah.
When I had a cold sore, it's that debilitating to me. But yeah, I got a cold sore just by I guess touching the chips and stuff. Kind of gross. I don't know.
Don't stick your hands in your
Charlestown's
mouth
dirty, man.
after going to the casino.
I know, I bite my nails. It's so gross. MGM casinos, however, will not give you free alcohol. It's a part of a Maryland law.
Yeah.
My problem with it is then why do you have to charge $6 for a beer? Can't you just do $1? Can't you do a penny? Act like you've been there before. We all know that every casino on the planet gives you free drinks so that you spend more.
It really cuts into the tips of those poor cocktails.
Darn right. I'm not ordering beers. Give me a break. I'll put a bottle in my car and I'll run out there every 2 hands.
Those ones at Charlestown probably rake it in. I'm sure. I don't know what they have to do with their tips, but I'm sure they rake it in because people are like, well, I don't have to pay for this drink. Here's $3, $4, $5.
Every drink is $1. Oh, I mean, I happily give them $1. If they're doing a
$5
good
off
job,
the bat
I'll give
so
them
they
2
keep
or 3.
coming back to me.
That's smart. That's smart. But I bring a bottle in my car, which is actually leading us to me getting pulled over over the weekend.
Oh no.
Yeah. So guess what? If you have a bottle of liquor that's halfway open but closed, right? So you've opened a bottle of tequila. You poured out, a couple shots at your buddy's house.
You have an open container.
And then you go home and you close the container and you have it just sitting in your passenger seat. That's technically an open container.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes.
I thought it literally had to be open, no cap.
It might even, I think even if it's in your trunk, you can still get it.
He told me, and I got a warning. Again, I'm telling you, put your hands on the window. I get nothing but warnings when you put your hands on the window.
Nothing but warnings.
I'm telling you, man. The warning king. When you get pulled over and you hear the whoop whoop, pull over, put your window down, put your hands on the side of the door where the window is now open. No, I don't even turn it off, man.
Really?
Yeah, I don't even turn it off.
See, I recommend turning it off.
Well, either way, he told me that I could have gotten a ticket, and you're supposed to keep that bottle in the trunk. If it's, well, he said, like, the hard stuff like that. Get aristocrat tequila.
It's all right. So the trunk is clean. Because good, I have actually an open bottle. I have a bottle of Jameson's like half full in my trunk.
571-354-7338 is the number. We will give away something for free today. $10 for you if you would like lunch paid for by us. We're happy to do that. 571-354-7338. Not for the prize right now, but if you would like to text or call in about your thoughts on Louis C.K., because this is an incredible story that's really just, I feel like, the tip of the iceberg. Well, and I would love to get some thoughts from the listeners. 571-354-7338. Text or call. What is
Harvey Weinstein was the tip.
That was the tip, but I mean, this feels like all of it's just the tip, if you will.
Well,
because I feel like all of this is just like, this is going to get into sports. This is going to get into music. This is not going to end. This is people in power behaving this way and then finally getting called on it.
Well, if people paid attention 3 years ago to the Kesha situation
what happened with Kesha?
Dr. whatever his name is, her producer, and her allegations against him.
He called her fat.
Well, not that he was like verbally abusive and things like that.
Right. Oh, I forgot about that.
So this is just an even further extent into the sexual realm of this, but it's a growing problem across the board when it comes to people in power taking advantage of or feeling like they have no consequences. So it's something that a lot of people are finally starting to acknowledge louder and louder and come out and say. So it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop anytime soon, and nor should it.
Louis C.K., it's crazy because a lot of people see him as like the GOAT. I mean, he's one of the best comedians of our generation. I mean, he is incredible at what he does, and then all of a sudden you hear these stories. If you don't know what we're talking about, where the heck have you been? But basically just masturbating in front of women. And this is his response. He said, these stories are true. At the time, I said to myself that what I did was okay because I never showed a woman my dick without asking first, which is also true. But what I learned later in life, too late, is that when you have power over another person, asking them to look at your dick isn't a question. It's a predicament for them. The power I had over these women is that they admired me, and I wielded that power irresponsibly. That's just the beginning of a long apology, but you have to at least appreciate his honesty.
Yeah, I appreciate his honesty. I appreciate the perspective because it's showing like your ignorance to it at the time, not realizing your power. But at the same time, obviously, it shouldn't be done, and it's unfortunate.
Can you listen to his stand-up the same way? Because a lot of his stand-up is about like talking about this kind of stuff, like jerking off in front of somebody, and I mean, like he's very dirty with what he's talking about. But you never would have thought, man, this could be true. Like I feel like this is now going to go into music.
Oh yeah,
this is going to go into just all kinds of places that I don't really. I guess it's good that it's all coming out. That people are starting to come out in droves.
Yeah,
but Anybody who's been in power and who's been wielding it the wrong way in the past 20 years,
You're going to be everyone's going to know.
good luck. Good luck. Let's have some fun, because that was not a fun conversation. I just
Sure.
wanted to throw that out there. Texter writes in, I'll never be able to listen to stand up again. I can't blame you there.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't fault you with that.
People have to do what they've got to do. If they're not comfortable with the way someone has done something, they should.
Another
not.
texter writes in, I appreciate his honesty, and for some reason, I still want to like him.
Yeah.
I think, see, that I'm saying, this is a polarizing story.
There's a
because
lot of
two
things he's
different,
unlikable.
He's just, it's like when Tiger Woods got in trouble. That one hurt me.
See, it didn't hurt me.
Oh, it hurt me. I didn't like it. I put all my faith in this dude. It's like I'm a high school baseball coach. I'm telling my kids about the stories of what Tiger does, and then all of a sudden, nope,
Oh,
maybe not.
he is a poor example of a human being. That's terrible to hear.
All right, I want to do the weirdest guy ever. Can we do that?
Yes.
The weirdest guy ever. This
At an Arby's.
is trending. This is an Arby's
Came
employee.
for the curly fries.
This guy is so good. It's only about a minute and a half, but I feel like I want to get this guy on the show. So, all of our wonderful listeners, find this guy. Help me find this guy. I want to interview him. Nicely done, Belly. So here's the deal. Some elderly woman drove her car into an Arby's, and instead of hitting the brakes, she hit the gas, boom, right through the wall, sending like 3 or 4 people like 10 feet.
Yeah.
Here is the employees. Well, they did a news story on it, and here is the weirdest guy in the world. This is an Arby's employee. You'll know when he's talking.
Ever heard? Sounded like an explosion.
I thought perhaps the end of days was upon us, but it turned out it was just a disoriented old lady in a champagne-colored Toyota Avalon, crashing into my world like DMB circa 1996. Who's got their claws in you, my friend? Into your heart, I'll beat again.
Just before 2 p.m., an
That
elderly
was-
woman
He's
drove
not
to
done.
the side of the restaurant
Oh, he's
while
not
trying
done.
to park her car.
I turned around. A little old lady had stepped on the gas instead of the brake and ran into the restaurant.
She hit 3 people who were sitting down and eating inside.
Here he comes.
They were thrown 8 to 10 feet.
I saw their bodies tossed skyward, like ragdolls thrown into the air by the late great Andre the Giant. I don't know. They appear to be weightless, hitting zero-G like the fearless crew of a forgotten Apollo mission, whose only objective was to obtain a beef and cheddar classic and return home to Kathleen Quinlan safe before sundown. I don't know. Part of me wishes I'd been hit by that car instead. So I could have gotten out of work early and gone far, far away from shift manager Masha's judging emerald eyes. No, I didn't wash my shirt in between shifts, Masha. So what if I smell like roast beef? This
What
whole place
is
smells
going
like
on?
The fire department transported all three to the
It's
hospital.
just so
They tell us
good.
that the man
This thing is trending on Facebook. If you could see this guy's
Somebody-
expressions, I'm just potting it down while the other lady's talking. I'm waiting for him to come back. Here he
The
goes.
bloodlust spread across her wrinkled face, and it made me dare to think perhaps this was no accident. Perchance she was compelled to steer her beige battering ram into the house that
work
beef
at
built,
Arby's?
driven not by force of this earth, but of an earth below. An earth that mirrors ours in almost every way, except the reflections are so much darker that many miles down. Some know the reflected realm to be the netherworld. Others know it as the abyss. I know it as the shadow zone. A world
Okay, this
where the
dude's
blackness
name
of our
is
sins
as they're
like
saying it on the news. They're calling it. His name is Royal Oak.
His name is Royal Oak.
I need Royal Oak to call into the show. 571-354-7338. This guy is a gem. I want to talk to him. I love how he just keeps going. I don't know. Shift manager Mosh, by the way, and your emerald green eyes put you on blast. Look, he's still going.
Take flight, known only as the winged demon, Dead Dreadmore.
I mean, he just goes off. It's so good.
Two things. Obviously, someone was in high school drama. Obviously.
I think there's I don't know. I don't want to laugh at this, but I feel like there's something on the spectrum here. Maybe
No, I think he is
just eccentric.
just eccentric. But here's what I got to know. So where was this? What state? What city?
I did not say.
What month? What year?
I don't. It's recent.
So
Recent. I have. Not, I just saw this trending. Saw the video. and I
unless
said, I gotta
this
play
Arby's is right down the block from Chinatown in Los Angeles, there is no reason to be this eccentric on the news.
I mean,
But the news giving him a platform
good on
to
him.
be this eccentric,
Good on him.
to like
Thank you.
how
Thank you, news.
now was it planned?
You
Tell
think it was?
me.
You think it was planned?
I mean, this sounds like something.
So
they
they
let
t-
him go for 3
I mean, guys,
separate
it's-
segment cuts. They only needed one to go viral. They let him go 2 more segments after the one.
Put it this way. I had to turn it down because it's just so much nonsense. I feel like that was just enough. And he's still going while we're talking.
He's talking about the old lady having bloodlust.
The nether regions, the nether realms, whatever. This guy is so good. So, I don't know. I mean, Arby's.
He said, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't even edit out the part where he says, I don't know.
So do you guys have somebody in your life?
I've made news packages. That's not how you choose a news package that you care about.
No, they knew exactly what they were doing.
Knew we got to get this guy his 15 minutes of fame ASAP.
They knew exactly what they were doing.
Because that 15 minutes of fame comes from us, this station.
Did you see the weather
here.
guy that totally it was like when all the hurricanes were going on and the smartest man in the world, right? The weather guy was interviewing. It was viral. He went around the beach and said, "What do you think about this hurricane, Irma?" And the guy was like, "Well, from all of my this like just random dude on the beach pretty much just did the weatherman's job for him." Do you know what I'm talking about? Did you see that?
Newsmen have been getting all kinds of news lately. There was that guy that did the news interview after he robbed a bank and then got caught because, surprise, surprise, you stop and have time to do a interview. It's not going to work out.
Oh, I got it. Look at that. I already found it. Here you go. What happened? Give it to me. I need
Give it to me.
Check this out. This is just all this is a weatherman just going up to people on the beach in, I believe, Florida, and just talking to them about Hurricane Irma. Look at the random dude he just walks into. This guy's a gem. Listen here. What do you think about the storm?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question. What do you think about the storm, the power?
This is just a random dude.
To your own safety at this point. Well, at this point, I'm very relieved to discover that as we speak, the eye of the storm is practically due south of us by 220 miles.
I'm a
Oh,
weatherman.
just wait.
It's crossing the 80th meridian, which is 80 degrees west longitude. So I'm not so worried because it's so far away, and its bearing as of 8 p.m.
Westbound.
Well, not just westbound. It was 275 degrees. That's only 1/15 above due west toward true north.
Is he right?
So
Is he
this
right?
thing
That's
is
people
moving
watching
and
it going,
has
is
been
he
moving
right?
In a very westerly direction.
Boom.
And because
You just
it's
got
several hundred
weatherman
miles south,
weather people.
It's about to be
the
over.
risks are less and less. I'm not worried. I don't think it's going to get much worse than what we're seeing.
It's a
right
dude
now.
who's probably 70 years old in a
No,
backwards hat.
whoa.
He's probably
whoa,
70 years
whoa.
old, 60 years old in a backwards
give him
hat.
60,
just
not
doing
70.
the weatherman's job for him. It's so good. And the people
Right?
watching it in the background are just like, is this guy right?
You know what?
Is he right?
He's probably right.
Oh,
That guy,
man.
get him on the Weather Channel. Call him Everyday Man, the Everyday Man.
Yeah. He's the everyday smart guy.
I just
Belly,
want
take
him
me
to
out to
walk up.
break. I got to get out of here. I want to
All
get
right.
back to a question that you're not even going to know the answer to about the NFL. I don't know the
Bologna.
answer. And
Bologna.
it's completely freaking me out.
That's Bologna.
In college, there's something that the coach does to determine to the referees, I would like a 20-second timeout compared to a full. That's your teaser. I'd like to turn that into the NFL when we get back. It's Luch Dog in the morning.
At litmradio.com.
show is brought to you by TTR Studios, LLC. If you're looking for an event or wedding DJ, contact DJ Lucio, the #1 ranked wedding and event DJ in the entire DMV and all of Richmond.
Hey, that's
703-850-2223. That's 703-850-2223. DJ Lucio, that's Luccio. DJ Lucio, give me a call. I'd love to work with you. And let's get started on planning out the most important night of your life. I can't wait.
I hate that ad so much. Somebody come in studio and read it for me, please. Belly. I need Hot Mess Kim. I need her.
Yeah, you need somebody to read
I need
that
somebody.
for you.
I hate that ad.
Yeah.
But I have the answer to the question Belly can't know. You can't know this.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I was watching football, as I always do, over the weekend. And it kind of, this is something that's been in my subconscious for a while now, and then I finally put words to it. I had a buddy watching with me. I said, how the hell do they decide whether the timeouts will be full or 30 seconds in the NFL?
Mm-hmm.
Because in college basketball or any basketball, they give they touch their shoulders to say 20-second timeout to the referee. The coach does. Or he just gives the T like, I want a full.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have any idea? Because it seems like when it's convenient and when it makes sense that a team just called a timeout because they had to, for example, the play clock is running down, that goes to 30 seconds. But a team calls timeout because they want to talk and strategize, well, that's a full one. So who makes the decision?
So I'm pretty sure it's decided on two things mostly.
I have the answer right here, so we'll tell whether or not you're right.
One for me would be the timing of the game within the last 2 minutes of a half or end game.
Okay.
It's going to be a short timeout because at that point in the game, the television ratings are probably at their highest, and that's my second point. It's probably about television ratings with how many people are watching the game.
Well, you're pretty much on it, but it's not decided by the referees. It's not decided by the coaches.
Decided by the broadcast.
It's decided by the broadcast team who has a guy down on the lines with a red flag to signal the refs.
Yeah.
Who the hell knew?
Anyone who has ever been to a football game live.
So check this out. This comes from Quora.com, Quora. A 30-second timeout actually is a regular timeout. The longer ones are the exception. The refs don't actually decide which is awarded. The TV broadcasters do. So by contract, the TV network covering a game is entitled to a certain amount of commercial time in each game, and there are guidelines for how much should be used in each quarter with a little bit of wiggle room. Commercial breaks are only allowed to begin during natural stoppages in play. So, obviously, the end of a quarter or
injury.
2-minute timeout. No, I was gonna say injury, but no, because injury it depends.
They always go to
not always, not
seems.
always. And here's why: if the game is moving at a normal pace, then it's really not a big deal. The network gets their breaks and all as well. However, if the game is behind the curve on commercial time because two teams maybe haven't had many changes of possession, no injuries, not much scoring, well, then the network will turn any opportunity into a full commercial break like the injuries. But if they're behind the curve or they're ahead of the curve.
So if the football game's good, they're going to go to break more.
Well, pretty much, yeah. Yeah. Incidentally. But if it's ahead of the curve and all the budgeted commercial time has been used for the game, then in the interest of keeping the game moving, the timeout will be declared a 30-second timeout, i.e. a normal timeout, which I didn't know.
I.e., so the 30-second timeouts only come towards the end of the game.
No, not necessarily, but the network will either cut to a single 15-second commercial or most likely just do a in-game promo. But the TV broadcaster has a person on the sidelines with a pair of red flags. Looks kind of like naval semaphore flags.
So Joe Buck has to read something about a show he'll never watch?
Right, which they use to communicate to the referee whether to go long or short on the timeout. They also use them to indicate whether the network is back from the commercial and play is allowed to resume, and when the network is choosing to go to commercial for a stoppage in play. I had no idea. It was on the sidelines.
I mean, if you've gone to football games...
You're not watching for that.
No, you're not watching for it, but you start to get that feel of it.
Oh, TV runs the show. Yeah, you definitely get that. The players are just standing there on the field,
literally standing
waiting for everybody to get back from commercial break. That's funny to me.
Yeah,
but they pay the salaries pretty much.
Pause.
It's pretty funny. They're all just kind of waiting, and then everybody's like, "Okay, people are watching again. Start the game."
Yep.
But I didn't know. I thought 30-second timeouts were not. I thought they were the straying from the norm. I didn't think they were the norm. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I guess so. It just seems like they.
So you're saying the NFL timeout is 30 seconds unless they've got time to go to more breaks.
Unless
and
they
they'll
need
extend
more commercials.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. I never seen that before.
I would. Here's the only way I would ever take advertising on uniforms. If it meant
oh god, Emirates.
way less commercials. Like,
all right,
if you want to put like Chick-fil-A on the front of a jersey, then I better not freaking see a Chick-fil-A commercial.
No,
I don't want to watch
especially
video
not on a
and
Sunday.
see it on my jersey. No, if you are ever going to consider putting advertisements on uniforms, that's how it's got to be.
Yeah,
there's got to be a trade-off. I don't want. You can't have the extra money. No. You have to give me the extra time.
Oh, wow. Belly, the selfish listener. I appreciate you. Should be. We're the ones that are paying their contracts.
Those freaking cable bills.
$8 an hour for ESPN, or $8 a month for ESPN.
Yeah, and that'll just keep going up.
That's going to definitely keep going up.
Well, it all indirectly goes to Disney, and so basically I'm partial owner in everything Disney has ever done. Because of my $8 a month.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people don't realize that ESPN is owned by Disney.
Yes.
They also don't realize.
And ABC.
They also don't realize, thank you, ABC is part of that umbrella. So
it all falls under like 3 different umbrellas.
Pretty much. But did you notice during NFL Countdown, before the games on Sunday, they did a whole piece. You know how they do these puff pieces, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just like, it's like some disabled kid, or it's like somebody trying to make their way onto the field for the first time. It's just a feel-good piece. They had a player who was trying out for American Idol.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, he's on the Detroit Lions.
Well, I'm sitting there going...
Marvin Jones Jr., baby.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there going, well, first of all, Katy Perry looks disgusting. What is up with that? Why are we doing that? The Miley Cyrus look. I don't get it.
Listen,
she's so hot. And then she just chooses to look like a boy in like emo confusion.
Listen, however she wants to look is her prerogative.
Get out of here with that. I'm judging.
So is
judging. So she she probably doesn't like my Colorado hat. That's fine.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's fine.
I guess she likes her boyish look. That's cool. Don't get it.
Let her live the life she wants to live.
But I was trying to think, like, why are they spending so much time on NFL Countdown with American Idol? This seems to be a little bit interesting. This is like a 10-minute segment now, and these American Idol judges are clearly acting. Clearly, this whole segment was set up.
Speaking of which, it's an ABC desperation move to take a Fox show that's done.
Thank you. Guess who took it from Fox? ABC, who's owned by ESPN, who's owned by Disney, and they're all running it on the same. It's just
ABC
a big
also
cluster,
does
man.
Dancing with the
Yeah,
Stars.
it's just a big cluster that I don't think a lot of people realize when they're watching TV is that this is just all. It's like 3 different companies who own massive amounts of
what
little
we watch
companies.
and do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. We're all owned by the same 3 companies.
Well,
welcome to Costco. Well, I had something about broadcasting, actually. I had to
All right,
ask
that's
you
fine.
about.
We've got 3 minutes. I just wanted to play more of this weird guy. But, yeah, let's do
Let's say a player on another team is injured, and your team happens to be playing a day, and that player that's injured on the other team is now broadcasting your game or calling your game.
Let's tease it. Let's tease that.
Yeah.
That's good. Let's go into that
Would
next.
you think that that's kind of an unfair advantage to kind of survey your team at a high level and also specifically study?
So you're saying if a player is still active on the active roster, he's maybe thinking about coming back in the next week or 2, is it all right for him to be in the broadcast booth while his team is playing?
Yeah, well, the other team, not his team, but a team that he will be playing down the road is playing.
So it's almost like he's scouting them.
Yeah, almost like he has to scout
Is this
them.
player maybe scheduled to come back by the end of the season then?
Yes, this player is also returning this season and will be playing in that game most likely.
That's nuts. Find out who we're talking about when we get back in, let's say 90 seconds. We'll be back after this. Good call, Belly. That's a good thing to get into. He's on my fantasy team too, so.
Yeah, you got him locked up. You got him locked up now
Yes,
that
sir.
he's coming off the IR.
All right, let's do a little sports when we get back. It's Luch Dog in the morning.
At litmradio.com.
Welcome back, folks. It is Luch Dog in the morning, and Belly is teasing away the idea that there's going to be somebody in the broadcast booth this week who's on an active team and who's active on a team, and he is going to be calling the game for an opponent that he might possibly play in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That name of that player is?
Greg Olson of the Carolina Panthers, tight end.
Been out all year. I mean, what, week 2? He went out?
Yeah, he went out week 2. He went on the injured reserve. He's designated to return. In fact, not only that, he is designated to return next week against the Jets.
So they have him calling the Jets game this week?
So he has so the game they have him calling on Fox is going to be the Vikings-Rams game, which is a very big game, folks. That's a high premier game. Both teams are 7-2.
Oh yeah.
That's
high offense, high power defense. That's
going to be a good game to watch. It's going to be, and Greg Olson's going to be that play-by-play guy for that broadcast.
Why have him in there? They have enough play-by-play guys. I don't understand that.
Joe Buck must be busy or something. I don't know. I don't know who he's even broadcasting with, but the fact that they must not have made it America's Game of the Week because the Cowboys are playing. No, the Cowboys are playing at the night game.
Well, why? Okay, so do you have a problem if Tony Romo comes out of retirement to, finish out the season for the Packers, say? Okay, Aaron Rodgers
Then he can't
goes
be calling
down.
games. But here's the thing. Packers aren't going to want him calling games because he's busy. And Greg Olson wouldn't be doing this if he wasn't on injured reserve right now. He'd be playing with his team.
If he's coming back next week, doesn't he have better things to be doing than calling games?
Right, exactly. But not only that, he's calling a game where 3 weeks down, I think it's 2 weeks down the road, December 10th, the Vikings and the Panthers play a football game. So he's now calling a game again for a team that his team will be playing in 3 weeks.
I don't really care.
Does he have an advantage?
That seems to bother you. It doesn't
bothers
bother
me.
Why does that bother you?
It's just like it's like he's recording the game in
Well, I mean, it's not like they don't watch tape beforehand all week.
But not only that, the Vikings owner or general manager brought this up to the Fox Sports and said, you got to pull him off this game. This is a conflict of interest.
I mean, I could see it, not wanting them to do like their due diligence the whole week.
And
You don't
Fox
realize
said-
those broadcasters are like going into the Vikings practices and they're talking to the team with production meetings and stuff. You're telling me Greg Olson gets access to that?
I wouldn't. I mean, I'd think he'd be part of the Fox broadcast team.
That I could see a problem for. Why don't they just tell
So Rick
Matty-
Spielman's like, this can't be going on.
Not happening.
He's got to play our team in 3 weeks, and now he's getting full access.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This can't be happening. Oh, do we have a phone call?
I don't know. We'll see. Luch Dog in the morning.
Hi, I'm looking.
No, that's not it. That's probably somebody from my. I'm gonna go ahead and call you right back. I'm so sorry. I'm on the air. I'm pretty sure that's a bride looking for a wedding.
Yeah. You should have. We should screen that call.
Well,
today.
that's the problem with doing this through my cell phone. So I don't know if you guys realize how we do this, but it's pretty badass. It's all free. Any podcasters out there? Always wonder. I get a lot of questions on Instagram. How do you guys do the live calls? Like, how do you make that work? It's just get a Google number, man. Just get a Google Voice number. It's great. Google Voice is fantastic. It's just a random number that goes redirects to my cell phone. You can text to it and everything. The problem is I can't tell if it's a random number or if it's just somebody calling me for my business. So maybe we'll figure out. We need a call screener. Clyde, get off your ass.
Yeah.
Get off your ass, Clyde. You're about to get fired.
Yeah.
Send him
Straight
back
into the
to,
trash can.
Freshman year of Mason with a big hung head.
Freshman year at Mason.
This is the only time I'll ever say it. Clyde isn't real. There is no Clyde. It's just a joke.
Yep.
It's just a joke.
Clyde's
There's
an imaginary
nobody
guy.
in here. He's an imaginary guy that we like to rip
Clyde's
on.
my alternate personality.
It's the only time we'll say it. Did you hear this about vaping, Belly?
Which part?
It's bad for you.
Of course it is.
Popcorn lung.
Yes.
You heard of this?
Yes.
Yeah. So apparently, folks, vaping, which is obviously, it just seems too good to be true. You know, oh, I'm going to get off cigarettes. Let me vape. Okay. Good for you. You're trying to do something better. That's awesome. Take that step and run with it. But just know that the flavorings, I don't know how to say this word, diacetyl, diacetyl? That sounds good. Diacetyl? Over a decade ago, workers in a microwave popcorn factory were sickened by breathing in diacetyl. the buttery flavored chemical in foods like popcorn, caramel, and dairy products.
Yeah.
What are you smiling about?
I've heard this before.
Yeah, so what it apparently really causes problems in your lungs, those flavonoids.
Yeah.
I did not know this, and this is done by a study through Harvard, that all this vaping, when inhaled, diacetyl causes bronchiolitis obliterans, more commonly known as popcorn lung.
I don't want to hear anything that says obliterans.
I know, right? It's a scarring of the tiny air sacs in the lungs, resulting in the thickening and narrowing of the airways. And while it might sound like a treat, as popcorn lung, it's a serious lung disease that causes coughing, wheezing, and shortness of breath, similar to the symptoms of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease.
Yeah.
Be careful vaping, guys. I know. Like, I get it. It's a healthy option to smoking, but it's not. It's just not. You're putting water vapor into your lungs.
Yeah.
Water in your lungs is called pneumonia.
Yep.
I mean, am I wrong there?
Luckily, your lungs are very good and your body is very good at healing itself as long as you let it.
Well, you have to let it. Now, I dipped tobacco for years as a former baseball player. This is my high school baseball shirt. That's when I got into it. My coaches were dipping. I thought it was cool. I started dipping. Only way I got off of it was fake dip. So I get this stuff. By the way, Smoky Mountain tobacco, if you dip and you want to get off of it, which you should, I mean, I don't want to tell anybody what to do, but God, it's awful for you.
Yep.
Smoky Mountain tobacco. It's nicotine-free, tobacco-free stuff that feels and tastes like dip. And, it's kind of gross after about 5 minutes, and it makes you, like, stop wanting the cravings. And it really helps. So I get why these people go through vaping, and it's like, oh, yay, it's a godsend. But this stuff is not great for you. And if you do it, try to get – do they make flavor-free?
I don't know.
I don't know, because I don't do a lot of vaping, but I saw this story, and I know a lot of people, like a lot of my friends out in Colorado, love the weed vape, Belly.
Yeah.
They love that weed vape. You guys know about this?
Mm-hmm.
It's marijuana oil in the form of a vape pen, in only places that it's legal, obviously, so we don't have it here in Northern Virginia or anything, but I seen that, and, like, man, it looks like wouldn't that be cool? Weed that doesn't smell? Are you kidding? Like, people, I had friends that would just puff it in front of me, and I thought they were vaping tobacco.
Yeah.
And they're like, do you want a hit of this? And I was like, nah, I don't smoke tobacco. And they're like, well, it's weed. And I was like, well, I don't smoke that either, so okay, but thanks for telling me.
But it's one of those things, like, of course, people are going to be very more inconspicuous about it as possible. That's why out in Colorado they have every level of any way you can do it. They have soda drinks that you can got it instilled in. So whatever they can put it together in, people are going to do.
Weed soda?
Yeah.
It doesn't get you high.
I'm sure.
Does it?
I mean,
I'm not asking you. I'm just
soda?
asking, is that a thing?
Yeah, I guess.
Weed drinks?
Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
It does sound terrible.
Because you would imagine like a drunk. If you're drinking something and then you start feeling fuzzy, you're going to imagine a drunk, and that is a very different feeling than a high.
Yeah.
Opposite.
But I'm sure they do something like tea, too, because it's similar to a tea, right? I mean, tea leaves are kind of the same.
I would suppose.
If you put it into
Let me
a
ask
bag.
this question. If I was working for just a regular 9 to 5 where they drug tested, right? But most of these 9 to 5s, they drug test for liability purposes, right? They don't really care. They don't care.
They care.
They don't care.
They don't want you coming to work all messed up
I've
all the
seen people
time.
fail their drug tests just for weed and still get hired because it was just weed.
Yeah. Well, that's on
That's
the
what I'm
company.
saying. Well, I'm saying the company does it for their due diligence, for their, for their own, to cover their own ass. I don't think people, guys, the government, do you understand the government just made it okay for government employees to have smoked weed in their past? This is a thing.
Yeah.
Because they need coders, and no coders have not smoked weed. It doesn't exist.
I'm sure it exists.
It doesn't exist. Okay? Most coders, as my voice cracks, most coders smoked weed at some point in their life. And for the government employees, they do background checks and they do lie detectors, basically. Have you ever smoked weed? And if you answered yes, you're out. They had to change the questions they asked these coding employees because they couldn't find enough people that hadn't smoked weed before. Everybody smokes weed.
They probably weren't very good at their
No,
coding.
they're probably terrible at it. So that's what I'm saying. I'm curious, in these companies, like, as, okay, they do the drug testing, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
let's say I worked for a 9-to-5 regular, not government, just a regular company, but they do drug tests at the beginning in the hiring process. I've been there for 3 years, never been drug tested since. Clearly it doesn't feel like they care. I go to visit a buddy in Colorado, and let's say hypothetically I get stoned where it's legal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they come back and randomly drug test me, am I in trouble? Am I fired?
I
did it where it was legal.
According to, I guess it depends on how they feel about your work before you left for that trip. If they feel like you have been struggling, they'll use any.
Let's not even go there.
Not that in Virginia they need an excuse. They can cut you anytime they want,
That's
folks.
True. That's true. You can.
This is a right to work stick. They can fire for nothing. You can quit for nothing.
It was great as an employer. Sucks as an employee.
Yes.
Yeah. But I'm curious. Like, would you worry about that if you went to Colorado for a weekend and you just,
No, I'm a great worker.
Well, I'm a great worker too, but are you worried that, just like the semantics of it? Oh, sorry, we haven't tested you in 3 years.
On to the next job, I guess, if that's the case.
You don't want my skills? You ain't got them anymore.
Yeah,
I'm out.
All right, see you.
Good for you. That's kind of how I feel.
Yeah, on to the next one.
But then again, that's why
the
I
great
got out of...
Jay-Z once said.
That's why I got out of working for anybody. No, thank you. Like, I am so grateful and blessed that I am my own boss, but man, that 9-to-5 stuff, for those of you who work them, I have nothing against it. I kind of envy you because I couldn't find comfort in a job like that, in a setting like that. It felt like claustrophobia to me. And a lot of people in those settings say that my lifestyle feels like just scared to death to them because they don't know when their next paycheck is coming. I don't know. I get paid randomly. I just randomly got some woman calling me who might hire me today. Who knows? I like that style of life. Some people really just need to know that their next paycheck is set. They need that security. Where do
Salary,
you fall?
baby.
Where do you fall on that spectrum?
I'm in a weird spot because I work for a place that I get paid through a paycheck. Even though
okay, but let's just take out the specifics. Would you rather have the security of a paycheck every week knowing that it's coming, or would you rather be your own boss but not know? You're going to have to go through some slow months.
I like both.
Well, that's terrible radio.
I'm sorry. No, I prefer to know money's coming for sure. But if you're confident in what your company's doing and know that the slow months, you plan for the slow months.
Thank you. I know I'm killing it, and I know that I believe in my ability to kill it. So if it's a slow month, I don't kind of worry about that stuff.
You plan on that. In the long run, and eventually after time, you can forecast your own company in a way. Like you can't guarantee
that's true.
work, but
that's true.
After 5 years, you have a trend, and then when trends trends build.
I'm on year 2 right now. Everything's just kind of like, I got an idea,
Once
but
you
I'm
hit
not
year
really
5,
sure.
you're like, all right, so I made this. So I had one down year, but I also took a 6-month vacation where I was in Fiji and grew my hair out and only ate tropical fruits for all that time.
Let me ask this. Uh-oh. Here they come.
Oh.
Here they come. Texter writes in, had a friend who had a weed Coke. His dad thought it was a regular one and drank the whole thing. He was high out of his mind. They make edibles and drinks with almost everything. Rice Krispie treats, gummy bears, and even weed-infused honey.
Wow.
Texter, well done. Thank you.
Well, I'm surprised. That reminds me of that 70s Show episode where they make the brownies and then they make 2 sets of brownies, one for the adults, one for nothing.
Oh, so good when Red gets stoned on brownies.
And they're all
That's
just
good.
cracking up.
Yeah.
All the adults when the kids rush up and they're all just done.
Have you heard Joe Buck's story of eating a weed brownie?
No.
Have you heard that?
No.
Oh my God. I'm going to do this right here on air. Joe Buck.
Good old Joe Buck
brownie.
made a terrible mistake.
Oh, it's the best story. No, it's so funny. It's on the Oh man, it comes straight from the Levitard show. That's where I saw it. Oh God, they have it. Thank God. All right, we're gonna play this for you guys before a break. Let's do that.
Plug yourself in.
So this is really funny. This is Joe Buck, and this is kind of what I'm talking about because you hear these people talking about stories. This isn't gonna get Joe Buck in trouble. You know, they're on vacation. They're in Colorado or they're in LA or wherever.
I mean, have you ever seen Troy Aikman call a Denver game?
Get out of here with your reckless speculation.
I mean,
are you being for real right now?
Pictures of Troy Aikman's eyes are usually bloodshot
so
red.
I know he's either, I know. You are right. I can't stand him calling Redskins games. He just blames the Redskins for everything and never gives them credit. This is Joe Buck talking about himself eating a way too much of a weed brownie. Maybe the funniest thing I heard all year.
Joe Buck with us now on ESPN Radio. He's calling the All-Star game tomorrow night at 7:30 on Fox. Before I ask you the ways that South Florida is going to ruin this game, do you have a hotel room alias? Can you just give it to us and then change it?
Yes, it's Joe Buck.
Okay. You go in, so you're never hiding. You're never hiding. Like you don't ever go with a pseudonym.
No, and you think I would, and now you're making me reevaluate everything. But when I'm in, Green Bay, there aren't 1,000 hotels that I could be staying in, and yet I think only a couple times have I had somebody call in the middle of the night as I answer groggily, and the voice on the other end says, "You hate the Packers," and then they hang up.
Okay, all right.
Were you creeped out by it? Like, because
It's
it's pretty.
pretty good.
Dan is right. I enjoyed it, and it's flattering, but I was also creeped out by it, Joe.
I want to skip ahead here and see if I can find the story. Hang on.
You're gonna love them.
All right.
So wait a minute. Some poor kid is opening up a box of baseball cards, hoping to get like Mike Trout, and it's just you holding a microphone.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Joe Buck has his own baseball card. That's what they're talking about.
Listen, I can sympathize,
Really?
Joe.
We're jumping right into
Yes.
that. I thought
Yes.
you were going to talk to me about how South Florida was going
All
to
right, here
ruin
it
it
is.
all.
Here you go.
Let's
Here you
talk
go.
Joe,
about that.
I can tell you to make you feel better. I can relate, okay? Because what happened was an hour later after the edible, I wound up in the fetal position in an apartment in my.
Hold on a second. I believe I'm going to beat you on the bad reaction
really?
to an edible. I believe we're going to get to that
Well, I
story
think Joe
in a
Buck's
second.
going to beat us both.
Well, let's see who's got the best story. All right, Joe, you start. What happened to you?
All right. It was 2000. Let me paint the picture for you real quick. It was 2011. I had a paralyzed vocal cord from a bad hair plug operation. Already I have you beat, by the way.
Yes, you do. Game over.
I'm telling you, this is the best story I've ever heard. Have fun, folks. It's about 3 minutes.
Get aces, man.
I'm going through a divorce. I go down to Cabo to a place I have down there to try to relax. And I show up thinking that I'm gonna do yoga every day. I'm gonna read 2 books. I'm not gonna drink. I'm gonna do nothing. I'm just gonna heal myself because I have this paralyzed vocal cord and my career's over. And I go down there within 8 minutes. I'm on the driving range, drunk on tequila, and can't escape the tequila virus the entire time. But at the end of it, I think, I can't relax. My whole problem is I can't relax. That's why my vocal cord's strained. I need to relax. I've never smoked pot. I've never eaten pot. I've seen pot all around me in college. I've seen coke and ecstasy in high school. Always avoided all that stuff. I said, I need to try this. So I ate a brownie at a dinner in Cabo.
Oh, boy.
And got no reaction. None.
That's the mistake.
That's what happens.
That's the mistake.
Well, I didn't know this, so I'm eating it with this buddy of mine, and like 45 minutes later, I said to him, "Do you feel anything from this?" And he's like, "No, I don't feel anything." And I said, "Only I can get no reaction from eating a pot brownie. Let's have another half."
There you go. That's the
So
mistake.
I
There it
had
is. That's the mistake.
a brownie and a half, and then we all got in the car, not driving. We were driven down to this bar in Cabo. And as I'm driving down there, as I'm riding down there, I'm trying to text somebody, and then the letters start like flying off my phone into my face. And I'm like, this is not going to be good. We show up. There's a bachelorette party going on. I'm scared. I'm frightened, and I'm avoiding them. And then I sit down and I can't feel my legs. And I talked to the guy that drove us down there. I said, I need to leave right now. He was drinking a Coca-Cola, and I said, I need to drink that, and I got to get out of here right now. And so he helps me to my feet. We stagger to I somehow magically get down the steps and to the exit. I think we're going to go right. He thinks we're going to go left. He pulls me left as I go right. I pass out. I pass out onto the ground. Go under a rope with my head hanging off into the marina. I damn near died. I had a dream while I was down there. I popped up, and I went from completely out of it to completely sober, worrying that within the next 4 minutes it was going to pop up on Deadspin that I just went down at a bar in Cabo.
It's just so good. It's like doesn't that make you want to hang out with Joe Buck? And that sound is credited to ESPN.
No, I can't handle this lightweight.
Oh, so we don't get sued. That sound is credited to ESPN. It's from the Le Batard Show and owned by Disney. So don't come after us. We appreciate it. Thank you, though. We're trying to play something funny. But yes, go watch the Le Batard Show. It's my favorite radio show out there because of things like that. It is so funny to hear celebrities just kind of let you into their life and show you that they're real like that. You know, they're just people. They're just people.
Yeah. Even Joe Buck is just people.
Even Joe Buck eats a brownie just like everybody has done who's ever had an edible, thinks to themselves, well, this didn't do anything, and then eat a little bit too much more.
That earned Joe Buck 10 points on the 10 points for me. Usually I'm not a big Joe Buck fan.
If you don't like Joe Buck after that, like, come on, man. That's just a dude being funny. That's just a dude being real, and it is funny.
Mm-hmm.
I love that stuff. So I don't want to spend too much time on this, but did you see Britt McHenry rips on Kaepernick being the GQ Citizen of the Year?
GQ's just looking for someone to buy their magazine because
they're
no one
doing
buys magazines anymore.
Well, they're doing what the what the newscast did.
Yeah,
they put the Arby's guy on for a viral hit.
Yeah,
and I don't want to be insensitive here. But doesn't
Not
it
to
feel like that's
discredit
what?
his cause.
Well, doesn't that feel like what GQ is doing? Because really, I mean, you could say, well, Britt McHenry makes a pretty decent point. I think a lot of people are saying this. I'm not against Kaepernick. I think he sparked a conversation that's worth having. That's fine. But first of all, do you remember?
This was 2 years ago.
I'm just going to play all kinds of clips today. Do you remember Britt McHenry getting her car towed?
No, I remember that.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I don't want to.
Do we not want to do that?
No,
Yeah, that actually puts her on blast.
Yeah.
Thanks, Clyde.
I don't want to hear that. We don't have time. You said this was going to be short.
All right, that's true. Well, yeah, we only got 7 minutes left for the people. So basically, Britt McHenry, who was
She's from the DC area.
She's from DC, blonde, and she's a reporter who used to be on ESPN. What she says on Twitter to Kaepernick being named Citizen of the Year, wear socks depicting he just showed up for the pictures.
Those pictures? I don't even know if he showed up for the pictures.
Well, he did. No. He definitely went to the photo shoot for GQ, but then didn't say anything. And then what's weird to me is that she goes ahead and says something like, there it is. She's basically saying, what about J.J. Watt, who raised $37 million? J.J. Watt raised $37 million for Hurricane Harvey victims. $37 million. But Kaepernick refused to stand for our national anthem a year ago and is Citizen of the Year. Right. No, I mean, I got to... Now, the only thing I was going to say is, to your point, J.J. Watt didn't serve in the military.
No, he is not.
So I don't know why that had anything to do with Citizen of the Year.
That's just throwing it out there. That's just throwing out the fact that people that served in the military are greater than him.
I guess.
They don't... Which people in the military, I firmly believe that people in the military don't believe they're better than anyone else for doing what they do. They do it because they believe in the country and protecting it. So it's...
No, I didn't wash my shirt in between shifts, Masha. So what if I smell like roast beef? This whole place smells like roast beef.
The fire department.
I have to do it. I love this guy so much. Just go on to Facebook. The weirdest guy ever. He's trending. He is an Arby's employee. And it's just so much fun to listen to this guy talk. Yeah, I know. I just wanted to end with a smile because the Kaepernick garbage and all that. You know what? There you go. It's not. I mean, it's a very good topic of discussion, but it's just the same story over and over again.
You know who I haven't heard from in over a year?
Who's that?
His voice at all in any news?
Oh, Colin Kaepernick? Yeah, because every time he puts his voice on something, he finds a way to screw it up.
Yeah.
She makes a good point with the pig socks and the Fidel Castro. Somebody's got to advise you, or you got to at least know what you're doing for other people to listen to you. And that's why I think people started getting frustrated with him, and now you got this whole polarized topic that's been completely hijacked of what it was originally about,
exactly,
which is police brutality.
Exactly.
Had nothing to do with the anthem. Had nothing to do with loving the military.
Had nothing to do with this back and forth between owners and players.
God, I can't believe this whole Jerry Jones thing. We'll do a lot more of that on Friday. And I did want to say we have been extended through December. We're excited to stay on Sports 106.1, so thank you to them. We'll be doing that every Sunday. The way that we're going to do this, though, is a little bit different. We ran into a little challenge last week. We didn't know what to do. because it was like, well, wait a minute. We're going to do the Friday taping for the Sunday show.
Live on YouTube.
Live on YouTube. So you can expect us to be here on Friday at 10 a.m., but then I'm not posting that podcast until Sunday because that's the whole point. We're taping a show that's going to be on a broadcast on the air on Sunday morning. So I will post the podcast. You can expect podcasts posted Wednesdays right around 11:15 when we get done, and Sunday mornings also right around 10 or 11. Okay, Sunday mornings, Wednesdays and Sundays you'll get the podcast. The live streams we'll do Wednesday for the Wednesday show, and then we're actually going to do on Friday for the Sunday show. So if you like watching us live, check us out Wednesdays and Fridays at 10 a.m. If you like the podcast, you'll get the Wednesday one, and then the Friday one will come out on Sunday.
And if you really need us on Friday, you better be there for the live show.
Yeah, please. And by the way,
you have to wait 2 days.
Yeah, that's no good. And you can get your if you call in, your voice will be played across all of Richmond on 106.1 Sports 106.1 FM. Belly, let's get out of here, man. We got to say goodbye to the people.
Yeah, goodbye to the people.
I really appreciate you guys. We missed Matty Potts today, so congratulations to him.